What's up, YouTube? This is gonna be probably one of my most controversial videos because I'm gonna talk about a lot of shit that, because I know I left the Toontown community behind and I left the Pirate 101 community behind, but I know there's still fragments of people from both of those communities that still watch my videos. And I know this topic is a topic that has always pissed them off because people that don't live in the real world, which is most people that play these MMOs, they get very offended when, especially when it comes to women, when you just politely explain to them that women are not the way they think they are. And I don't know which community this guy comes from. I don't know if he's from Toontown. I don't know if he's from Pirate 101. I don't know if he, found my videos after the fact. But nonetheless, I made a video called Translating Womanese, which I might actually make a series on that because, women speak in permanent double talk. Now, I'm not going to cover why they do that in this video all that much, but women, they understand natural law naturally better than most men do, right? Men are kind of naive. They take what they hear other people say at face value. They got this misconception that everybody's honest with them and they don't really challenge too many things that they're told from birth until later on in life when it's too late. But women, they naturally understand the game at a young age, so they speak in permanent double talk. So every little thing they say, they really mean something else. You really have to train your girlfriend or wife, etc., or whoever you're sleeping with to be fully honest with you. And it's possible. It's difficult, but it's possible. If you have enough game, you can mold a woman to be honest, at least to you. She'll still lie to other people, but she'll at least be honest with you. And the main reason I had to go on that little tangent because I'm a man of my word. And, I did say I would make a video covering this, but even the question that he asked me, how to attract virgin women, but I'm a virgin too. Lots of red pillars saying there are no virgin women. My question is, how can I attract more virgin women? Therefore, I want to know your take on this. So first of all, you have to be fully honest with yourself. Why do you want a virgin woman? I mean, think about that seriously. Why do you want, you're a virgin yourself, so clearly you don't have any experience with women. Why do you want a virgin woman? Do you want a virgin woman because you're under the misconception that she'll be easier to control? Do you want a virgin woman because you believe she'll be more honest to you? Or do you want a virgin woman for the reason most guys want a girl with a low body count is because you don't want to pay for something that a bunch of other men got for free? And the reason you need to be honest with this question before you start going on your virgin journey is because women that are actual virgins, right? It's not that they don't exist anymore, but in 2023, they are impossibly rare. And you have to understand, women that legitimately are virgins, they know their value. There's going to be a lot of other guys that have more experience with women than you, a lot of other guys that understand women better than you, a lot of other guys that have better game than you, going after these same virgin women. And women naturally, women don't think like how men do. We're actually total opposites with how we think. We see a virgin woman and we think, well, hold on, let me rephrase that. We see a virgin woman that's over the age of 20 and think, wow, she's been through high school, middle school, and college, and she was strong enough to control her urges and not just give it up to any guy she sees. That's what's up. But women, they'll see a 20-year-old virgin guy and think, what the fuck? No woman want this guy? What's wrong with him? So you do attract what you are. So because you are a virgin, you'll have an easier time attracting virgins to your life. But because you have no sexual experience with women, you're already starting at a disadvantage, because when you approach these women, you're going to have to explain in a way that doesn't turn them off why no woman has had sex with you. Now, you can be honest and say, I'm just saving myself for marriage or whatever, but when women hear that, they think, oh, women don't want this guy, so he has no choice. Which, if you're saving your virginity for marriage, why are you on my channel? You know, my channel is very, you know, I'm not a fan of marriage, religion, or God. So if that's your reasons, I'm astonished you're even on my channel. But I'm going to answer your question, but just understand, because you have no sexual experience, you're already at a massive disadvantage. A guy that has sex with a lot of women will have an easier time getting the virgin than you would, because women naturally think a guy that has been with a lot of women, he must have something going on that other women gravitate to, right? This isn't true in reality. I mean, I know a lot of guys that have high body counts and they are pretty much bums. But again, women are emotional. Women are feelers. They feel like they're a prize. So in their mind, if you're getting other prizes, other women, then there's something to you that's not apparently visible. So, and don't try to argue with women about this. It's what they feel. You know, don't complain, just take advantage of the game. Now, it's not impossible for you to get a virgin woman as a virgin, but again, understand, you're going to have to really know what you're doing. And because you're inexperienced, the chances that you're going to know what you're doing are not very high. Nonetheless, I didn't say that to discourage you, but you have to be honest that the cards are basically already stacked against you. Now, the real reason the truthful answer to this question is going to be uncomfortable for you, because it would be easy to find a virgin that's 9 years old, but obviously you don't want that. Finding a virgin that's 18, you're already entering the statistical impossible zone. Finding a virgin that's 25, probably not going to happen. And I'm going to say something that nobody else on YouTube has the balls to say. What I'm about to say right now is probably going to be where most of the dislikes come from, because me saying this back in the Toontown video got me, well, actually, no, that's not what got me canceled. Me saying that men and women, that men and men are, and women are women, that got me canceled in Toontown. But this equally got me canceled on Toontown. Women are far more sexual than men. Now, if you rely on Google and peer-reviewed studies and Wikipedia, you'll read that men are more sexual because we produce more testosterone, and that's a crock of bull. No, we do produce more testosterone, but that's not what makes somebody more sexual. Women are the most sexual, freakiest creatures on planet Earth, and those that are experienced with women understand what the fuck I'm saying, right? There is no creature on planet Earth that's more sexual than woman. And even if you're inexperienced, all you have to do is go straight to the source, observe nature, and don't use me as an example because I never wear any fucking clothes, but go out into nature and observe people in general. Which sex is dressing more sexually? Which sex is walking around provocatively, half naked, for all the world to see? That gives you an idea. And, you know, red pillars kind of try to soften the blow. They say that women do it just for attention. No. Women aren't doing this stuff just for attention. They're actually having sex. They're actually engaging in intercourse. The reason that they do that is because if a man approaches them that they're sexually attracted to, and they have enough game to escalate and make a move and make something happen, sex is going to go down. So no, they're not doing that just for attention. They're doing that to attract men that they're sexually attracted to in order to get what it is they desire. Now, unfortunately, a lot of women don't understand that just because a man will have sex with you, that doesn't mean he will commit to you. So they don't understand that doing these things is going to get them more sexual attention, but it's going to decrease their relationship attention, you could say. And women become sexually active at a very young age, earlier than guys do, right? In 2023, girls are walking around losing their virginities at 12, 13 years old. And again, I'm not saying any of this to discourage you, but this is going to give you an idea of what I'm about to say next. In order for a woman to be a virgin at 18 years old and, to remain a virgin in their 20s, that usually doesn't happen, okay? By the time a woman is 18 years old, she already has more sexual experience than most 25, 30-year-old men. Now, women remain virgins under the following conditions. If you meet a woman that's a virgin at 21, 22, 23 years old, right, in adulthood, because most people lose their virginity when they're minors. Well, most women anyways. Men, it's a little bit different. The only men that lose their virginities as minors are men that actually know what they're doing from a young age, which isn't most men. So when red pillars say at a young age, most of the men, a small group of men are fucking all of the women, they're not entirely wrong. This changes a little bit in adulthood, but not by much. But women only remain virgins in adulthood under the following conditions. And this is why I say that this will be uncomfortable for you to hear, because this is going to be uncomfortable for a lot of men to hear. This is probably going to be my most controversial video in 2023. The most obvious is that if they're in a religious cult. Now, understand something. If this woman is attractive, she's not going to be a virgin, even if she's in a religious cult. She's going to be getting hit on by a lot of guys, and all it's going to take is for a man that she's sexually attracted to, who she thinks she has a future with, to grow some balls and make a move on her. She's going to have sex with that guy. I've been with a lot of women that have been in religious cults or were super religion, and let me tell you, because they're trained to repress their sexual desires, these women are the most sexual. They're even more sexual than regular women. They're the freakiest women you can find. So I don't know if you're religious, but if you're looking for virgins, more than likely you're going to have to settle for a woman that's not that attractive, who isn't getting approached that much in the first place, and she'll probably be in a religious cult. Another place you can find virgin women is on the internet, right? Women that have like anxiety or something mentally wrong with them to where they're not going outside and interacting with people in the first place. That's another place to spot virgin women. Now, these women will be a little bit more attractive than the religious cult virgins, but there's usually something mentally wrong with them, right? Because the only way a hot woman remains a virgin for long is if there's something wrong with her, to where she's either not talking to people, or when she is talking to people, they quickly stop talking to her because there's something wrong with her, right? Me being from Pirate 101 in Toontown, I met a lot of women that were like this, women that were hot, but because there was something wrong with them, playing video games all day in the house will lead to something being wrong with you. They never had much social interaction in real life, so in order to not be a virgin, you kind of need to go out and meet people, right? So religious cults on the internet, and in real life, this is going to be a tricky balance, because women that aren't physically attractive, they tend to have low self-esteem. And women that have low self-esteem tend to be easier to sleep with than women that value themselves, right? But if a woman is so unattractive that nobody's talking to her, that's going to increase her chances of being a virgin. So if you're looking for a virgin woman, for the most part, these are your options. Women that aren't very attractive, women that have something mentally wrong with them, and women that sit on the internet all day. Now, I know that's probably not what you wanted to hear. That's not what a lot of men want to hear, right? Men have this fantasy that a woman can be smoking hot and make it to 21 and still be a virgin. That doesn't happen. If a woman is attractive, if she's physically attractive, she's going to be getting approached by guys. Men are going to be sliding in her DMs. She's going to be talked to. And all it takes is for a guy that she's sexually attracted to, who she thinks she has a future with, to grow some balls and make a move on her, and then sex is going to happen naturally. Men have got to realize that sex is a natural part of life. Women are emotional. Women are feelers. If the right guy makes them feel a certain way at that specific moment in time, she is going to have sex with that guy, right? Women are not like men. You can kind of brainwash men into not having sex by feeding them religion, by feeding them philosophy, by feeding them fucking no fap and all that other bullshit, right? Women are not like that. Women feel, and when they feel like they want to have sex, if the right guy approaches them, sex is going to happen. Now that you kind of understand that, you know, the cards are extremely stacked against you because there's not many virgins walking around, and you being a virgin yourself, you're probably not going to have the skill set required to attract these women in the first place, even though you're kind of looking for the bottom of the barrel. Now understand something, guys. I do pay attention to leg count when I'm interacting with women, you know. My personal limit is 5. If a woman has over 5 bodies, I don't take her seriously at all. I don't even I don't date any woman that have more than 5 bodies. And for me, the reason is simple. 1 boyfriend in middle school, 1 boyfriend in high school, 1 boyfriend in college, 1 boyfriend in adulthood, right? And then another one that's like variable, right? Assuming she's only had sex with her boyfriends and she's had 1 in middle, high, college, and adulthood, you know, that adds up to 4 to 5 bodies. Any more than that and I disqualify them. Now, that's already an uphill battle for me, but I've had 16 long-term relationships, so, you know, they're not hard to find when you know what you're doing. But another thing you have to consider is that women have an incentive to lie to you about this. You're looking for straight virgins. I'm looking for women that have low body counts. So I have a little bit of extra wiggle room than you do. You going for straight virgins, dude, I'm telling you right now, man, because this is usually what happens, right? A woman will fall in love. It'll usually be middle school. They'll fall in love the first time. That relationship will end. They'll get heartbroken. They'll get over it. After the second time they get their heart broken, a lot of these girls just give up, right? They get their heart broken the second time at 15, 16 years old. They just give up. They do hot girl summer. They start sleeping around until they're like 25, 30. And then when they're later on in life and they realize they still want to have a family, that's when they start trying to attract a relationship again. But by then it's too late. I'm not telling you to go out and get sexual experience. If that's not what you want to do for your own personal conviction, then you don't have to do it. But what I am telling you is that because you don't have experience with women, if you do meet a virgin, you're going to have a hard time keeping her because you don't have the experience to understand the game. And hopefully you're okay with accepting that most women that are actually virgins are going to fall into one of those 3 categories that I listed. And you have to have enough game to even spot if they're being honest with you or not. See, I don't ask a woman her body count directly, you know. I tell her I want to get to know her better, and then I just get her talking, and then I let her speak. And then as she is talking about her past, I'm keeping a mental count of how many different guys she's mentioned, how many different relationships she's mentioned. If she trusts me enough to mention her hookups, I'm also keeping a mental count of that. Because even if a woman trusts you and knows you're not going to judge her, she has an incentive to be honest with you, but she also knows that if she slept with a bunch of people, that's only going to decrease her chances, your chances of taking her seriously for a relationship. So when a woman tells you that she's a virgin, most of the time they're lying, okay? Because women don't count the following as having sex. They don't count anal as having sex. They don't count oral as having sex. And how do I know this? Because I've had many women ask me for advice. How do I lie to my boyfriend because he doesn't think I'm a virgin? And they'll immediately say, now before you say I'm not a virgin because I sucked somebody's dick or I had anal, that doesn't count. So, you know, if you do meet a woman that's claiming to be a virgin, you have to be ready to interrogate them and be like, you do know that oral and anal counts as having sex, right? Because they want to have sex, but they know that by having sex, it's going to lower their value in the eyes of other men. So they'll tell you that they're a virgin, withholding that they've been doing sexual stuff since a young age. So it's not impossible by any means. You know, me personally, I've dated 2 virgins in the past, and, you know, pretty much you have to have a low body count in order for me to consider a relationship with you. So it's not impossible. These people were definitely out there, but you have to accept that the cards are really stacked against you and that a lot of virgin women are going to be insane. Because I've noticed, I think there's a correlation between being sexually starved and insanity, because sex is a natural part of life. Now, obviously it's in a woman's best interest to find a long-term partner to have sex with, but the main problem is that a lot of men that make good relationship partners, they're not sexually attractive, right? They're usually docile. They don't really have too many masculine traits. You know, they're usually pushovers. So women don't really have sex with their boyfriends or husbands like that because they're not sexually attracted to them. And that's why they cheat on them for the men that they're sexually attracted to, but they know these men are not going to take them seriously for a relationship. I'm going to make a video in the future called Impossible Difficulty for Men, Beyond Impossible Difficulty for Women, because women really do have it hard. It's really hard for them to find a man they're both sexually attracted to who will take them serious in a relationship. But as far as how do you attract a virgin woman, well, on the one hand, you have an advantage because you attract what you are. So you're going to come in contact with virgin women easier than I would. But because you don't have the experience, it's going to be very hard for you to keep them. And you're going to have to accept that if a woman is a virgin when she's 20, there's a high chance that there's something wrong with her, because either other men are not approaching her or she's not leaving the house like that. Because I'm telling you right now, women lose their virginities at an age that's so young that most men are not comfortable with talking about it on YouTube. Well, I don't give a fuck about what people think about me. I don't give a fuck about being canceled. I've met over 10,000 people in my lifetime, and despite what fucking Google says, despite what fucking Wikipedia says, despite what peer-reviewed studies say, women do not wait until they're 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 to have sex unless they have no choice. So, you got fucking, I'm not going to get into that, but, so yeah. Now, what I would advise to you, I'm going to wrap this video up because I got a lot of shit to do. Don't settle for anything less than what you want, otherwise you'll never truly be happy. So if you want a virgin woman, go out there, seek, and you shall find. But just understand the cards are extremely stacked against you. Now, I'm not making this video to say that all virgin women have something wrong with them. I'm just making this video to say that most of them do. It's not natural to withhold sex for such a long period of time, and there's natural consequences for all of your actions. I mean, you being a virgin yourself, I would actually, like, after you're done watching this video, Mr. Captain Brutal, you know, I would advise you to really do some internal reflections and ask yourself, you know, why are you a virgin? Are you a virgin because you want to be one? Or are you a virgin because society has trained you to think that that's the way you're supposed to do things? Ask yourself, is going without sex for a long period of time natural? And then you'll come to the conclusion of what it is you have to do. So, yeah, I already know most people are going to hate this video, but you know what? If somebody tells you something and you don't feel some type of internal pain, they're probably not telling you the truth, because lies are sweet. The truth is hard to accept. So, you know, but seeking you shall find. You know, if you look hard enough, you will find a virgin woman that's older who isn't insane. You know, that's borderline impossible, but it's not impossible. Your greatest challenge will be keeping that woman, because you don't have experience with women. You're not really going to know what to do in certain situations, and you're going to be playing trial and error with the woman that you actually desire. So all I'm going to say to you, man, is good luck, because you're definitely going to need it, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.